Hey, True Believers Englentine here with another batch of new comic book reviews. This time, as far as Future State's concerned, not only are we doing Catwoman, but we've got issue number 2 of Dark Detective. Yes, that's the bird, Daredevil, and chapter 5 of the Chip Zdarsky independent comic called Stillwater. Let me kill the bird, and we'll get back to this. In the meantime, you guys relax, kick back, we'll get this party started. All right, let's start off with Catwoman. I love this cover, by the way. I would have liked this cover to be the Virgin cover B and all that kind of stuff. So we start off and we see people being herded onto a train and just kind of like, okay, wait a second. How many laws, by the way, because we have seen the world outside of Gotham. It's normal. How many laws are the magistrate allowed to be allowed to break? You know, this is very serious stuff here, because this is, as we're being told, is done by a mayor, not a governor, not a president, it's a mayor. Seems to have hired an outside security force to lock down this city. Now, okay, we see Portland. We see Portland. We know we know bad things can happen because of a crappy mayor, but holy crap. What are they doing with these people? Anyway, this is a train heist book. And while I do think Selina is a little bit overdressed at the beginning, it is cool to see that she has control over the homeless and the orphans and so forth and so on. And I really do think this works as just a chapter in the greater magistrate storyline. It's an exciting story. As a matter of fact, to me, this is better than Catwoman has been ever in this last run. I've read Catwoman. I read the first few issues. I've read a few after that. And in all honesty, I've always tolerated Catwoman. And here I'm actively liking it. You know, I actually enjoy this storyline. I want to see this continue. I don't want to go back to the original. So that should say something. Anyway, the art is great, the storyline is a lot of fun, and I'm happy to say here is another win on the future state of DC Comics. Chip Zdarsky's Stillwater has been entertaining me since the first issue. I don't know, I kind of like these weird small town horror stories. I like them in movie form. I gotta tell you, I'm enjoying this one where a guy goes back to a small town. He forgot he grew up there. I mean, he was sent away as a baby. We saw the origin of that in issue 4. Here he's brought in by a council that they understand his coming back kind of reveals some flaws. All this time they made it so it's illegal to leave town. Their children do not grow. That's why his mother got him out of there. But he has no memory of his mom because he got out as a baby. And so the council is getting together. They need to go talk to the judge who's been ruling this place since they found out they couldn't die or age. And they want to tell them, we need to vote. We need to vote, and we need to let people leave. And if their town gets discovered, then so be it. You know, that is the way of things. But at least, you know, people need to be living their life. All the while, we see the judge is actually trying to cover up a murder by sending a dead body out, and they're gonna, you know, yeah, they just want to make it look like this guy who disappeared, here he is, now stop looking for him, that kind of thing. So it really is all about the politics of this town, and that sounds a little more boring than it actually is. But these are not good people, as you can see the way they're drawn here. I mean, they are drawn like a classic movie villain. He might as well be twirling a mustache at the end, but it does work. The council does meet up with the judge with not exactly the results that they wanted, but exactly the results you think are going to happen. As the judge says, you know, I am the divine because God gave us these powers, and you chose, and then I was chosen to lead you. So, okay, yeah, I get that. If he sees it as a religion, then perhaps, you know, that I could see why he would put forth this kind of violence on the people around him. either way, at this point, I would expect insurrection, real insurrection. And yeah, so far, so freaking cool, man. Next up, going to talk about Daredevil number 26. 25 got all the speculators. Oh my gosh, Elektra put on different clothing. There you go. That's, and all the speculators like, oh no, what do we do? That's so awesome. Let's go buy a whole bunch of these and make this one comic go up in price when it really shouldn't be. And I always think that, you know what, that just tells me somebody overordered and now they're trying to unnaturally inflate prices and get people excited about it. So anyway, here is an actual decent story, and it is. It's been a good story. So is 25, in all honesty. We see Matt Murdock in prison, and we see him also having to deal with the reality. And it's not just that, you know, he's like, well, I'm going to be treated like everybody else. And the what you saw when the black guy came up to him, the black guy was saying, "Bullsh, you're not being treated like everybody else. You get to wear a mask." He's like, "I can't walk out of here in a mask. Everybody's gonna know I committed my crime. Nobody's gonna know you committed your crime. You take off the mask, you're whatever you are on the outside." And they're right. This whole being charged with a mask thing, it's stupid. No matter who came up with it, no matter when it came up with, because anytime I bring that up, somebody goes, "Yeah, but it was decided 10 years." I don't care when it was decided. It was a stupid decision. It just shows that the justice system in the Marvel Universe is stupid. Anyway, also on the outside, the whole Venom thing comes kicking around. It's like, oh, all right, yeah, you're going to pull everything into it. And it also comes to the jailhouse where also Matt Murdock discovers that when he's in prison, he can't help people unless somebody allows him to help people. So he's screaming, you know, "Let me out so I can fight this thing. Let me out, I can fight this thing." Naturally, they do. For some reason. I mean, he's a prisoner. That's it. Done. No need to let him out. So, yeah, it is a good story. I did enjoy the book, but there are flaws. But there's mostly flaws with the Venom stuff. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of seeing this bleed into it. But hey, they did it in the 90s with all the X-Men and the Inferno stuff, so I guess they're going to do it here. It wasn't horrible. I did enjoy the book. I can recommend Daredevil still. Thankfully, it's had its ups and downs, but damn it, it is still good. And I'm not really bothered by Elektra putting on Daredevil's clothes either. I have had to eat a lot of crow over the whole Dark Detective thing. I made a whole video over at I Love Comics stating that Mariko Tamaki was the end of DC. Are you freaking kidding me? You're giving Mariko Tamaki, of all things, Batman? Why? It just doesn't make sense. Last time I read Mariko Tamaki was the She-Hulk thing, where it was like 18 pages of any comic that she wrote was devoted to walking to get coffee, drinking coffee, and thinking about more coffee. But damn, this is the best of the Batmans. I'm not kidding. I say that without irony or hesitation. This is the best of the Batmans. This is the story of Bruce Wayne, and we find out why people think he's dead. We find that out right now. So it's all a big who is Peacekeeper what? We had a discussion on our live stream about who he could be. I myself kind of floated Red Hood. I think it might actually be him. Anyway, it tells a good story based on the fact that, look, we got with Tinian, we got his run where they're, oh, we're going to break him down. No, this book is breaking him down. This book's taking him all the way back to the beginning. All the way back to the beginning. Actually, with less than he had before. So it ends up being a pretty damn good story. We get this Red Hood story, and this also makes me think it could be Red Hood being Peacekeeper 1, because we see Red Hood taking out other vigilantes. In fact, we see him taking out the vigilante here. So they really aren't trying to hide it. They really, you know, hey, I'm fighting vigilante. See, here's vigilante. And it's a really cool story. I like this. He meets up with Ravager, and they have a good conversation about, because she's the other one that's taking out vigilantes. The only thing I don't like about this is the art. It's really, it's not bad. Like if your family member came up and drew this picture, you go, oh, that's really cool. That's pretty good art. Yeah, not bad. But in a comic book, it's, yeah, it stands out as bad. There's a scene with Ravager when she takes off her hood. It's like, oh my gosh. You can't tell. Girl, boy, whatever. Look at that. It's just not good art. It really isn't. There's no real shape, no real form to it. Not good at all. Still, it's not horrible either. So those are the reviews, and it's about time to sum up. Okay, and as usual, I line these things up from the one I like least to the one I like the best. There is no bad book, but if I'm lining them up, then Daredevil is probably the least of these 4 books. Still good, still entertaining, still exciting. Next up, Catwoman. As much as I like the train heist, I do think there were a few things I'm like, yeah, I think you're trying a little bit too hard, but it's a beautiful book. Stillwater is next. I gotta tell you, I've been enjoying the story. It's really fun. It's really exciting, even though there's not a whole lot of action in it. I just think it went in a direction I already knew was going in, and that leaves Dark Detective as being the best book of the video here. I am constantly surprised at how good I think Mariko Tamaki is doing. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell if you haven't done it already, making sure all the notifications are set to all. And if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over to Patreon or to Ko-Fi and drop $1 in the till. Helps keep the lights on. Help us keep making videos for you. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.